We have a structural collapse at the new hangar at Jackson Jet Center.
There was a large-scale collapse of the building, the framework of the building. I don't know what caused it.
The biggest stories of the year begin with the collapse of an airplane hangar under construction at the Boise airport on January 31st that killed 3 people and injured 9 others.
Our mission is to save lives, and unfortunately there are times due to circumstances beyond our control that we cannot meet that mission.
I drove past the structure that same day and called Jackson Jet Center to do a story on the new development, but just hours later it collapsed. OSHA cited Big D Builders for 1 willful violation and 3 serious violations of federal safety regulations. OSHA also cited Inland Crane for exposing workers to collapse hazards. I was in the witness room for perhaps the most bizarre story of the year as the Idaho Department of Correction tried and failed to execute convicted killer Thomas Creech. I watched just feet away as a medical team tried 8 separate times to access a suitable vein and could not.
We trained for a number of different scenarios and potential outcomes, and my confidence in this team just could not be higher.
The state has since created new procedures to allow them to access larger points of entry like arteries to deliver execution drugs.
Justice has been carried out.
In May, an Idaho jury found Chad Daybell guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy charges in the deaths of his first wife, Tammy, and the 2 children belonging to his mistress and then second wife, Lori Vallow. Daybell is sentenced to die for his crimes.
The layman's explanation of this verdict is that the jury has made a finding that it would be appropriate to impose the death penalty.
One of the biggest stories of the year is due to one of the tiniest culprits, quagga mussels. The shellfish were discovered in large numbers in the Snake River near Twin Falls last year, but efforts to eradicate them with poison failed. Quagga mussels can cause massive damage to hydroelectric infrastructure by clogging pipes and intake valves. They can also rob water of oxygen needed for fish survival. A second attempt to kill the tiny mussels was made in November, and its success won't be known for months. Idaho's near-total abortion ban brought forth emotional testimony in court challenges in 2024.
We are all here to tell you it is no longer safe to be pregnant in Idaho. Something has to change.
Several women testified that the ban is forcing women to carry fetuses with deadly anomalies and preventing doctors from intervening in potentially fatal medical emergencies.
We had to figure out how to scramble to get out of state, how to pay for it, and how to travel with a toddler to receive the essential medical care that I desperately needed in that moment.
The law has caused some reproductive health doctors to leave the state for fear of prosecution. Court challenges to Idaho's law could have ripple effects across the country depending on the outcomes. The Idaho Supreme Court previously ruled that the Idaho Constitution does not provide a right to an abortion and found that Idaho's laws criminalizing abortion are constitutional. Lastly, but not least, the success of the Boise State Bronco football team. Not only did they make it to the very first 12-team college playoff with a first-round bye, no less, but their star player, Ashton Jeanty, was runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. Of course, this story won't be over until they have their day on the field, beginning with Penn State, who is oddsmakers' clear favorite. But just ask Oklahoma what happens when you take BSU lightly. The Broncos have won 3 straight Fiesta Bowls, and they're excited to add a 4th against the Nittany Lions.